Alright, it's recording. Alright. What's up, guys? I'm back with another What If. I think this is What If Deku was a Demon Slayer Part 2. And do I have a rant for today? I don't think I do. I think everything's fine. I think this one might be short, though, so if it is, then oh well. I mean, I can try and make a Part 3 of this sooner or later, but yeah, how you guys doing? Alright, I'll just get into it. So I think last time I left it off was Deku woke up and then he seen his hand glowing, so he went up to All Might. He met with All Might to the beach, and they activated the quirk, and then Deku's sword had all the elements around it. So I'm gonna just get in with that. So Deku's sword has fire, water, wind, rock, and lightning circling around the blade. And you already know, like, those five elements are like the main breaths, you know. I'm pretty sure there are other ones, but they're like branched off of those. So yeah. Bro, I'm already starting off like weird. This is not good. But so All Might and Deku, they're like amazed of what they see because yo, like, would you not? If that was your like quirk, nah, I would. But Deku speaks up about how much he wanted this type of ability if it's what like he thinks it is, which it is. But All Might names off all the elements that are surrounding the sword. So you know, like all those, and then all the elements, they're absorbed into the blade again. So they're like, wait, what just happened? So, but then the sword changes. The sword now has a black tint to the blade, with like little white sparks added to it. So you know it looked kind of cool. Like yo, like I want that sword. But yeah. So All Might says like it's probably one for all enhancing the quirk, but he wasn't expecting it to be like that. He was expecting it to be like you know from the show um like him just being really strong. But Deku says it was probably always meant to be like that, but the quirk wasn't strong enough. So maybe like the enhancement quirk just made it go to that type of level. So All Might tells Deku to try and bring back the elements. So you know Deku, he doesn't know how, of course, because like yo, it's brand new. But then he concentrates, and Deku, I don't know if I said it in the last part, but he already knows the breathing technique because you know he mastered it. Like you know he could do it in his sleep and everything to strengthen his body, which I'm gonna say he does that because what is it? I think I found out the name of it. It's a kendo practice. Yeah. There was a comment and I looked it up, but yeah, kendo practice. So he's basically a master swordsman. Like not all the way mastered, but he's really talented. So yeah, he's using the breathing technique and his eyes are closed, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Ah, shoot. But yeah, so his eyes are closed. He just nods his head with like a serious look and swings his sword, slicing the air. And a huge wave of fire follows the blade's like movement. So they both notice, like, of course, that Deku's agility and perception has also gotten stronger because, you know, one for all, again, it enhances Deku's quirk, so it enhanced his agility and perception. So they realize that, but something more important than that is, you know, they're like, oh, the shoot, like the fire, but then All Might questions like why was it only the breath of fire, which he doesn't say like breath of fire, like he says like the fire element, but Deku just says it's the breaths of like elements. So Deku is still frozen in place looking at his sword in shock because you know like that's what he's been wanting. So then he says like while still in place that it was the first thing he felt, like he felt the fire. And I'm gonna say fire is gonna be his first like breathing or even breath style because of course in the picture he's surrounded by fire, so why not? Like it would be weird if he was like water instantly. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like slow today, I don't know why, but um you know, where am I at? Dang it. But All Might says to do like another element, but Deku can't because it's still brand new. All Might's like basically just pushing it, but All Might decides to practice Deku's fire element until they get another element for like the rest of the 10 months. And I think last time I said like it took Deku a week to clean up the beach, so they have a long 10 months. So during the 10 months in like the show, Deku was still at school. He was just like he just had a full schedule, so he still has like school and all that. But during the 10 months, Deku was able to bring the rest of the elements out with Lightning being last, so he can bring them out individually, but he can't like combine them like how it was in like when he first awakened the Quirk. So Deku's highly skilled with fire, knowing all 10 forms already, but hasn't perfected it. And other brothers like they need more training towards them. So everyone in school knows about Deku's Quirk awakening, like just getting that boost, but only the breath of fire. Like Deku doesn't want everyone to know about the other breaths yet. And I'm gonna say Bakugo and Deku they did like spar and fight a few times. By few, I'll probably just make it two. Yeah, they fought 2 times, and I'm gonna go with just Deku one because this is like new. So you know, Deku went ahead and used his other breaths on Bakugo since he knows they would be going to the same school, of course, and he knows Bakugo can take the attacks, but like he already knows like no one else can. So yeah, there's that. Oh man, I need water. I don't have water. This is not cool, man. But Bakugo asks questions, of course, and assumes Deku's been holding back because like he only knew about his fire. Like he didn't know that he had like other elements. So Deku responded like under his breath, like trying to keep a little quiet, just like that his quirk awakened, but he hid the other breaths, and he has no reason to hold back against Bakugo because like they have that respect for each other, but they're not friends still. Like they're definitely not friends. They just have like respect for each other that they don't show. So yeah, Bakugo just like had a competitive glare and then turned around, walked away, and then chuckled a bit because he realized that is better for him because it adds more of a challenge to their fight. So Bakugo just says like he won't tell anyone else, like like what's the point? Like there's no point of just blabbering it out. So the 10 months they're gone. Yeah, all time skip boy. But yeah, so All Might says like that Deku's gonna easily pass the exams, and Deku just nods and gives off a small smile because All Might said like, if you want to be my successor, you have to be able to like smile more when you're saving people. So Deku just says like okay, and then All Might All Might says like, the smile needs more needs more work, but at least you're trying. So he does one of those like those weird smiles. He's not at the smile level where he is on the picture, but like a bit more awkward. Like he still has a smile, but it's awkward. So because Deku he never smiled before. But let's see, where was it at? Dang it, I need to stop getting off track. Um yeah, Deku Deku goes to UA, and Bakugo and Deku they see each other and just stare. Like I think when they're walking up, like where they have the pathway, they're basically on opposite sides, but they're just looking at each other. And people start to look and like they feel a huge tension building up around them. Like they have some of that Conquerors hockey is what they have. But yeah, so it scares a few of them, and both of them just walk off in different directions, like knowing that they're competing for the highest score. So Deku knew right away that people were staring at him, so he just looked at them and gave them a smile. But this time it was better because he actually was like trying. So they didn't know what to think, but the girls definitely liked it. I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. But yeah, so Deku and Bakugo, like they tied on the written exams because yo, they're both really intelligent. I'm pretty sure I named it off in the last part, but yo, they're both intelligent. So in the auditorium, like both of them were just silent, listening to President Mike. Like not in canon. I think in canon, like Deku was talking the most, but both of them are just silent. So, but you already know people were staring at them the entire time because they're still like, oh shoot, like those two must be like really strong because they had that Conqueror's hockey. But nah, I ain't stop. So Ida noticed and got mad because Ida his engines were running. You already know, like, but okay, no, I ain't stop. But Ida stood up and yelled at Bakugo and Deku, saying like, "Yo, you're distracting all the possible students." Like, he said it as if he were looking down on everyone. Which, yo, like that's the most annoying thing ever. Like, yo, don't do that. Like, if you're trying to do that, like, yo, you better catch these hands because nah, you ain't looking down on people. So Deku and Bakugo at first they did nothing. Like they both just did not care. Like they pretended like nothing was there. So Ida got angrier and demanded a response. Deku still did nothing, but this time Bakugo got up and said to Ida like to stop distracting them. Don't act like he's big and strong because yo, he can beat him up with his eyes closed. But Ida just had that Pikachu look and tried to say something. You know that Pikachu look, right? Like the meme where it was a I'll probably put it on the screen honestly, but yo, he had that Pikachu look, and he was like trying to say something back, but President Mike just yelled at Ida to sit down, or like he would be kicked out. He's like taking Deku and Bakugo's side, but Ida just sat down and was furious. Bro, just don't be an Ida, like bro, please, bro. I know it's my outro and everything, but yo, just don't be an Ida. Oh man, so let's see. Dang it. Shoot, man, I need water. I can wait. I can wait. I can wait. But when Deku went to the gate, he was just standing still, meditating. Wait, what the heck was that? Meditating. With people looking at him. So, because Deku tries to get that meditation in. But Deku thinks to himself, like, it won't be that hard for people to realize he's going to be the next number one since they keep on literally looking at him the entire time. But Ida tries to grab Deku's shoulder, like while his eyes are closed. But Deku, he has them I can't speak. He has them reflexes to pin down Ida and point his sword at him. And Deku, he just looks at Ida and shakes his head in disappointment, like, "Yo, like, you shouldn't walk up on me." But he lets Ida get up and then walks away. So, like, walking towards the front gate. And Ida just stands up and tries to yell at Deku, but everyone else, they're like, yo, like, just shut up. Like, but Ida's still yelling, like, hey, you broke the rules, you used your quirk on, like, a fellow student or something. Or, like, a future student of UA. And Deku just kept on walking towards the gate and then accidentally bumps into someone. He immediately apologizes because All Might's saying like, hey, you should like be more aware of others if you want to be like the next symbol of peace. So they turned around and said it was okay, and it was a girl. She says her name was Uraraka, and Deku says like says his name is Izuku Midoriya, and apologizes again, and they start just talking. And yeah, I might as well just keep on going with it. Every single girl that was like looking at Deku, bro, they're jealous, bro. Like they got that power. But they try and get his attention. So Deku tells Uraraka like good luck and everyone else as well. With like that smile, and everyone they're like, oh shoot, bro, like this dude, chill, like yo, he a cool one, but. The gates open up and he just body flickers in the middle of the area. Like he's faster than Ida because of his like, this dude takes training to a whole new level. But I think, shoot, didn't I give him like 500, like everything during his workouts? But yeah, so yeah, he just body flickers because he's a savage. He's not god level yet, but he will. Don't like just trust me. But everyone sees him destroying robots instantly, like as soon as he body flickers, and they get pumped. They're like, shoot, man, like let's follow his lead. And Deku's just slaying every robot with his fire, but he tries to use a little bit of water, but he tries to use a little bit of his water, not too much because he doesn't want to be seen by people. Because water and robots, they don't sit well. So because he wants to test the skills a bit, but the teachers in the stands, like, they're impressed by Deku's like ability and focuses on him throughout the exam. So Deku stops to let other people get points while he continues to meditate a bit. But then, he feels a huge presence and knows instantly it's the 0 point robot. So, ooh, rubber band. But Deku just opens his eyes and then looks up and then just body flickers towards it because why not? And he sees that Uraraka is stuck under the rubble and is annoyed that everyone's just running away and doesn't try and like help her. So he grabs her and goes away from the robot. Then Deku does the solar halo dragon dance, from episode 19 of Demon Slayer. And I'm gonna say, just for like the story, it doesn't need Bloodburst to like work because honestly, like combinations, I might as well just give him the power. Like, why not? So, when he does it, the huge dragon appears, and when he lands the attack on the robot, there's nothing left. It just disintegrates. So everyone's just looking at the dragon fade into nothing, and then just looks at Deku. Deku just walks over to Uraraka and helps her up, and he apologizes again for not being fast enough, and just takes her to the nurse. So, she's just blushing because why not? And says to Deku, like, he doesn't need to apologize so much. So he takes that into consideration. Like, okay, maybe I am a bit too much. Like, All Might's not good at explaining this stuff. But, All Might's pleased with Deku's progress because he was watching and is amazed by, like, the attack towards the robot. Because Deku, he's been doing his practice, like, by himself. He creates his own moves up. So this is like All Might's first time seeing it, and he was like, "Shoot, this dude's gonna like pass up for nothing." Like, but where was that? Yeah, so when Deku walks back out, like he just goes back to the crowd and like waiting for him, and says like, "Yo, to be a hero, like you can't just run away and leave people in danger. Like what you guys just did, like that's not acceptable, bro. Like there's a huge robot about to crush like a student and you're just like doing nothing about it. Like, yo, like you can't be a hero that runs away. You have to face the danger and win." So everyone, they look kind of disappointed because, yo, like Deku, they're like, shoot, man, he's like the number one hero to their eyes, like instantly. So they're like, shoot, man, like maybe we should do that. Like what if it was real? Like we just showed like how much how much like we suck at being heroes. So he just body flickers away before anyone tries to get his attention. So yeah, he just goes home, and I might as well just leave it on that. I'm pretty sure the video is like pretty short. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want to say it's short and then really it's like past 20 minutes. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it on that. It's pretty short, pretty quick. Got the story out of the way. I can try and do a part 3 for the next video. Because, I kind of like this series. I like the idea. I don't know if anybody else had this idea, but I like it. It's alright. So, if you guys liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know why. I want to know a bit. Oh, shoot. I got a comment. Yo, Matap? Shadat. Bro, what okay, I like the name. I guess he just wrote a big comment saying ha 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 ha. I'll take it. All right, but yeah, okay, no more, bro. Yo, maybe I should just do like a live stream and just start ranting about. But nah, I need to stop. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know. If you guys didn't, let me know. What else do I have as an outro? Yeah, just let me know how your day was, and see you guys in the next one. Don't be an Ida. Remember that. Don't be an Ida. And peace out.